Welcome back to the WODprep podcast. I'm your host, CJ Palma, with the bestest host, Claire Bays. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm peachy. It's always a good day when you start with a new member. Look,
Yeah, Nivi, that's Nelson's athlete.
I know. That's awesome.
You don't know.
I actually do know that. I probably, am more aware than you think that I am. I don't know if you saw yesterday when you got in there and were coaching. Did you see me popping around in there? Are you proud of me?
You're bouncing around everywhere.
Just specifically the coaching. I was like, okay, you can do this. Just go.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Kenneth, what's up? Vic, tried and true. Vicky's grumpy this morning.
Oh no, why?
She's mad. It's all right.
In Saturday detention for being
Clooney's. Hey. What's up? Starriest. I don't know what that means. Nivi, thanks for being a member, buddy. We appreciate you. Hope you're training. Hope you're excited for the off season. Let's dig into it.
Yeah.
You're gonna have fun.
Where do you want to go first? I have all sorts of things that
I know you sent me a ton of stuff that's like none of it's CrossFit related.
I did.
None of it's cross. I mean, I think it's all nutrition related. Like if we're just looking at
yes,
it was all nutrition related.
yes, so that's CrossFit.
Nah, fine. Base of the pyramid. It's not that time of the year. We're past that. So the base of the pyramid is the off season, and then aerobic capacity was what we just did, and now everything else needs to be weightlifting, gymnastics, and sport.
Okay, we can certainly talk about those things, but at the end of the day, it's still the base of the pyramid, and it is the methodology that we follow, and I'm going to talk about it all year.
I know. I get it.
And it was partially motivated just by a really cool conversation I had recently with an athlete who made some changes to their diet and saw some really cool benefits as a result of it. So,
speaking of that athlete.
Oh, hi, Amanda. Good morning.
That's who you're talking about, right?
That was one of them. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. See, Vicky says she'll do a nutrition show anytime.
I know.
Anyway, I know we want to talk about, and hey, you said that's off-season talk. For everyone who didn't make it past quarters, it is off-season now.
It is off-season. And
we definitely want to focus on, we have a lot of semifinalist athletes, so we definitely do want to focus on that.
Yep. Quite a bit of them too, like a lot. For sure.
Yeah, talk about that. You posted all of the, let's see, 227 was the number that we came up with, which is probably low.
It's for sure.
Yeah, for the number.
Sure, probably, if we assume we have 1,000 people in academy, it's probably in the mid threes would be my actual guess. But it's hard to scrape and match names and things like that. And obviously, we didn't do that manually. So
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's low. And then in addition to that, I don't know how many, top 10, top 50 that there are, but quite a few. You probably have that exact number.
Oh, in their divisions?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 10. I had 3.
10 in the top 50-ish, in the top 100.
In every division. I think that number still reigns pretty identical. Maybe just a few more. I don't know off the top of my head for all the other coaches, but it was good. It was a really good semifinal. It was definitely a good semifinal down here in Pensacola. Mm-hmm. And it was fun. Did you have fun? I don't think I asked you if you just had a good time.
I don't even think you need to ask that question.
I know,
do you think I had fun?
Huh? Did I have fun? I mean, I love seeing all my athletes. It was hard. It was the hardest coaching weekend of my career.
Really?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, it was 5 days.
Okay, let's talk about that.
I mean, it was 5 days.
Yep.
And just the way that it was structured, because everyone, with humility, right? Everyone came down here to train with me, right? They didn't come down here just to do the qualifier, right? So there was that, right?
Yes.
They wanted me to coach them. And judge them or whatever, that vice versa. And so being really present for every heat the entire time was with warm-ups. And then I think the Bennett day was what kind of put me over the edge.
I can't even imagine. Like I said,
oh man,
I was aware that I was not aware of how stressful that truly was for you.
Yeah, I so for everyone that doesn't know. So basically, all the athletes came down. They came down on Wednesday. We competed Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, right? So it was 5 days,
Yep.
which is what we usually do for any qualifier, right? Doesn't really matter. We start when it opens and we go all the way till it closes, right? Hardly ever does even Rose not redo, right? Rose didn't need to, but she still did. Redid two workouts, and they got a lot better, but she
Yep.
still would have won had she not redone them, right? So so we didn't really need to, but it was good for her confidence and execution and performance anxiety and things like that, right? So all those things are really good. But so Friday was a really big day. We had Carlos there and video and photo and all this stuff, and we competed for like 11 hours or something like that. I guess it wasn't that long, 9 hours. Um, and and then on Saturday, my wife had a baby shower, and so I had Bennett. We were like, "Oh, it'll be fine. There's a bunch of athletes there," and it was fine. He did a really good job.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, we got there at 10, and he made it till like 1, 2 o'clock before we had to pull the phone out. And I was pretty proud of him. I was like, he did a good job. And then eventually, I was like, I can't run. I can't chase him around anymore.
Yeah.
Tough because when you have like when I'm trying to like put everything into an athlete for their block of time there, right? It's hard because like there's always like, he's really fast and he's really quick and
I know.
he can break out of his little like play cell that he was in and just be like on the field of play. I think I had to like swing and grab him like from a moving vehicle 2 or 3 times that he was just like that, and he just like bolted across the gym. So that was stressful. But
yeah, he's got wheels.
Dude, he's really fast and he's funny. So he doesn't walk anywhere. That's what I tell everybody. He literally doesn't walk anywhere. Like he's like, Dad, I got to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, all right, let's go. And he goes, let's race. And then he just runs. And then we're going to the car, right? Like unless he's carrying a bunch of his cars, like in his little basket, he doesn't walk anywhere. He just runs everywhere. So I'm really hoping that that's like a thing that we share soon. I think we will, and that'll be fucking sick. I'm like jazzed. You seen the like the Instagram reel where it's like a dad, like the baby like holds the dad's hand, and it's like all like the super manly things, like bombs go off, and like the pole, like the grizzly bear's like raw. Like that's how I feel when I when something cool happens with Bennett, like as a father.
Yeah.
Dad, this is awesome. I'm like, and I love it.
That's actually, have you, let me find the account. Lil Miss Soy Sauce. I'm going to send it to you. We're just going to veer off of CrossFit content for 2 seconds because this needs to be looked at.
Aaron, you can get off your high horse and get out of this channel. Sorry about it.
Oh, hey, Aaron, if you actually adhere to that, that's incredible.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, good for you, man. I mean, we like I said, we do, we try, but there's just, I'm like, hey, you're just, there's actually quite a bit of coffee in here. This is a nitro, so that's why it's lighter. So
you went to Starbucks this morning?
Yeah, I did. Well, I had a call with Terry, one of my athletes this morning, so I needed to leave because it's loud and parents sleeping in the living room. So
oh, gotcha. Is that just because of this point in pregnancy? Gotcha.
Yeah, she's uncomfortable. She did last time too. She ended up on the couch.
Yeah. Dang. That actually reminds me, my one of the guys that lives here local, Zach Tellender. You probably know him just because he's been around.
I don't know Zach personally. Ben does really well. I don't know if I've ever actually spoke with Zach. Maybe once.
He's I like him. Anyway, he's local. And so he went viral in Australia recently. Like he was over there for, I don't know, music and whatever. Anyway, and he went way viral and was like on the news and whatever because he was doing little doing like daily finding good coffee in Australia and saying it's impossible to not find amazing coffee and no matter where you turn, whatever. And so country music artist, look, I mean, that's what he is today.
He's pretty good. He played when he finished the Mayhem. I really enjoyed his Mayhem. I enjoyed his talk on the Rich Running podcast. And then he played at the end and I was like, oh wow, he's really good.
Yeah. I see him around pretty frequently because he's all over the place over in the area. as far as like gyms and whatnot. He kind of bounces around. And anyway, he's trained with Jimmy a handful of times. He actually, years ago, I remember Marcus Philly came to visit and they did like a YouTube video and they actually let me come train with them. And it was really, really fun. Anyway, so he did that and he went viral for it. And then he just came back to the US and he was like, okay, Australians, please don't all hate me for this, but like sometimes I just need to be a basic American man. And he went and bought a coffee that was like a cereal milk, cinnamon toast, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It was
That's
just
funny.
really funny because it was
Mhm.
like, he was like, I get it. You guys do have really good coffee, but like, have you ever had this? This is
Okay.
ridiculous. It was just,
100%.
I don't know why it was really funny. Did you get the account that I sent you, the Little Miss Soy Sauce?
I don't know. I feel like I might follow that account.
You probably, it is all I see right now. And I'm really at peace with that. It makes what you said about with Bennett, like feeling like your grizzly bear light show, whatever that was, is totally what I see this dad
Oh, yeah. Yes,
with
exactly.
his daughter.
Yes, I do
Can
follow
you
this account.
please just pull up one and can we just play it, please?
Yeah.
I want other people to experience the joy that comes as a result of watching these two.
You want to do the one that he just did like yesterday, the one where they're competing and she breaks down? That's a good one because they like talk it out.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's so sweet.
It is.
Well, this one was 3 days ago. This is the one I'm looking at, but yeah.
Stay double up. Oh. Okay. Breathe. Okay. Hey. Hey. Sorry, so the tears. Hey. Breathe. Hey, this is just for fun. Okay? Hey, look. You can do this. Hey. You can do this, okay? Breathe. Good. Breathe. Right there. Good. Hold it. Good. Let's go. Easy right here. Stay calm. Good. Good. Hey. Let's go. My body. Good. You got it. Let's go. Tight. Let's go. Stay tight. Go. Good. Back foot down.
Oh my gosh.
So good.
Yeah, it's real good. There's so much content of the two of them. I can only imagine what that, because if you think about it, so that dad owns that gym and he's realistically been doing this for decades. I don't know,
Right.
but to just think that, you know, he's been an athlete in that sport and now owns a gym and that's what he does for a living. And now he has this little daughter that seems to be really enjoying the experience. And so he's getting to do it with her. I just can't even imagine what that feels like, because there have probably been seasons along his journey of being disenchanted with the thing or whatever. I'm just making assumptions based on human experiences, but like, woof, this has got to be a really cool season for him to just savor and be a part of, you know?
Yeah, I can only imagine. Like, it's like the dream.
Yeah.
For sure, to like share that with your kid. One of my athletes has like ups and downs in training, and like her daughter's a teenager now who like qualified for quarterfinals. And you remember that post I sent you? You reposted it sort of like you're for sure the first female in your bloodline that's ever done a snatch or can do a pull-up or whatever it is.
Yes.
Right. And so I sent that to her, and you know, we talk about like training motivation and things like that. And I was like, your daughter does this, and she fucking only does this because you do it. Like, she didn't just be like, I want to do CrossFit as like a 12-year-old, right? Your whole family does it because of you, because you started doing it, right? And so like, it's 100% the ultimate goal to do something and influence your family to do something healthy.
Absolutely.
Right. Like, Bennett like started, I tell Bennett flex his muscles all the time and he kind of ignores me, but recently he started like flexing hard and I'm like, that's right. Like, you want bigger muscles? Get your ass out here and pick up this little green 5-pound dumbbell.
Yeah.
Throw it around.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's so cool. It'll be so interesting to see over the course of time as he gets older, if he winds up, taking a liking too.
I mean, at this point, running, I mean, dude, the kid loves to run.
Yeah.
We just don't walk anywhere, literally anywhere. And we got a Bob. We have like a double Bob stroller. And so I just put him in and he grabs a bunch of toys and we go for like a 5K run a couple times a week. And so hopefully we start doing that more. And yeah, that's like, it's a goal for sure. 100%.
Yep. Yeah. That makes me think. I, of course, didn't really play sports, but Jimmy, he started in karate at age 3 and weightlifting at age 5.
Mm-hmm.
I say weightlifting, like training with weights, not Olympic weightlifting. But anyway, and that was a really positive experience for him growing up, doing all sorts of different sports with his dad. Really cool. Anyway. Okay. We can go back to CrossFit.
Back to our regularly scheduled program.
Sorry. I just am really eating up that page right now. It's just so freaking cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, man, there's so many different things that we can talk about. I don't even know where to start. Maybe this is just kind of random, but did you see that Mayhem Classic is going to be on PBS?
So I saw that they said that, and I didn't know if it was a troll. That's super cool.
I think based on the format of the conversation, I don't believe it was a troll.
Whose channel was that on? Who was he being interviewed by? I don't even know. Angelo.
Was it Chase Ingram? Were they doing, I think that perhaps it was the Sport of Fitness podcast. I think there's a clip of it on Dense Updates Instagram.
There we go. That's what I was looking for.
Mm-hmm. The full conversation was really good.
Thanks, Vicky.
I also took a look at the CrossFit and CrossFit Games YouTubes and just kind of took a look and saw what all they're up to, and definitely really consistently, like the CrossFit channel. Let me take a look and see what one was titled, like Unfiltered Coaches, whatever. Anyway, I think they're being pretty clever right now in their content.
Have a viewing opportunity for the public.
I believe we have a broadcast with PBS. TBD on the details.
Hi, welcome to Sesame Street.
Today we're talking
clip.
all
about colors.
Like
That's
PBS, real PBS?
like PBS, like real PBS. Yeah.
Like blue and yellow.
Wouldn't it be funny if they had like Sesame Street commentate?
That actually is really funny. I did not see this clip. Like,
And Elmo's favorite, blue.
Oh, all right.
Bennett went through a little like I like Elmo phase, and I was like, oh my god, please get through this as fast as possible.
This is a Rory McKernan question. He's going to hear this, but yeah, I mean that's the latest news that I have. So
Okay. You guys will have.
Interesting.
that is funny.
I
I mean, that's really cool.
I wonder if it's local, like if that's, I don't know how that works. Is PBS is kind of like a regional, like there's like regional pieces to it. So I wonder if there's a like if it's going to be viewable by everybody,
Yeah.
Hope so.
I would think if they would go to the trouble to get it put on some type of live stream, that they would it would be prioritized to make it viewable broadly, just because obviously that's the market that wants, like, we don't have enough local viewership of CrossFit competitions to make that. I mean, we are still relatively niche, right? So anyway, I don't know. I would think that, but as much as it's relatively niche or whatever for a sport, it's also fascinating to see.
Right.
So then being, favorable to a broadcast of like, oh, well, that looks pretty cool. I will say I had a conversation with like a early 20s athlete this week who has just gotten into it and is like,
oh wow,
I know. And I was so excited. And he was like, yeah, he's literally like 2 weeks in. And he's like, yeah, I want to be competitive, And I'm like, where did you come from? Who introduced you? How did we get, I'm like so pumped because
we need another million of you. So
correct.
Let us.
But it was encouraging because of course we kind of, that's almost outside of our usual bubble. But you know what? Our usual bubble isn't necessarily that we've niched down and intentionally pursued. It's just happened that way. So man, yeah, it's going to be cool to see if we wind up trending and starting to attract more younger athletes again.
God, I hope so.
Me too. Definitely. Just this stuff being viewable, like that whole PBS thing. Like if all we're doing is putting it on YouTube channels that are found from people seeking it versus if it just lands on a TV screen in front of them somewhere.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what this means. I think this is in reference that Dents jabbed at Tyler and John again.
If not, I'm out. Wait, this is Tyler?
Yeah, this is Tyler.
What happened?
Tyler's name is, I don't know. I think Vicky told me. I think
If not, I'm out. That's
I
funny.
think Dents jabbed at Tyler and John.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Because
I didn't
his
watch.
timeline for he said he was going to be back next week with more information on his update show, and it was 12 days in between. And
Tyler, you're
so
a piece of shit. I can't believe
she
you waited 12
clipped
days.
him talking about Kill Taylor being inconsistent or something to that effect. There, we talked about it.
There we go.
We covered it. Good job.
I was gonna pull this up to see if we could like dig through it, but I can't see anything. It's too small.
Oh no. This is all of the past. What is this? These are workouts, but what is this?
Yeah, this is what they did this last year too. So the
yeah.
workouts are in here somewhere.
Okay.
Let's see. I can't see much. Whoops.
Man, you guys are professionals.
try.
Yeah, we never
We'll
miss
do
a
that.
show.
Yeah.
LOL.
Did we miss one last week?
I'm pretty sure we did. I don't know if it was last week, but either way, we do wind up
Yeah, we didn't do one
having
last Friday.
life occur. And
Last Friday we didn't do one.
I enjoy being consistent. I will say this show this morning, I had not actually spoken to you about it. And when you arrived, I was like, did we need to communicate about that?
Let's see. No, we just wing this. This is fine. You're prepared.
Yeah.
I have an athlete in like a GPP athlete in the UK, and he's kind of all over the place. And so he went on vacation for like a week. Like lost his phone, lost his wallet, like and he's like very much all over the place. And he's like, all right, I'm back in it. And then he just texted me. He's like, I got a virus. So he's gonna like not work out for like 3 weeks. I just let him. I just let him. Whatever comes through. It's just like one of those where I'm just like, he's happy, he's content, and he just kind of like.
This is one of your one-on-ones?
Yeah, it's a one-on-one. All right, swim sandbag. I think this is one I heard because I think Sevon said this, that they're going to mix some form of swim and implement here.
But this is this is just like all speculation. Where are they going to swim?
There's a pond. There's a pond there.
Are they actually going to swim in the pond?
They used to swim in the pond all the time. So I mean, it's swimmable. Like it's not like filled with amoebas or like anything. I mean, it might be, but I think they said they were going to swim. That was a rumor a while ago.
Who said they were going to swim? Other people, or they said they were going to swim?
But they could have just put the rumor out there because it was out there, and they're like, okay, let's put a swim on here.
Pond has been confirmed, is what KDL says. Where is it confirmed?
I don't know. I feel like they've really hit at it, but I mean, Mayhem trolls all the time, right? So they could just lie. This is crazy. Does that say 20 muscle ups? 20 muscle ups, 20 burpee box get overs. That would be fucking sick.
3 rounds.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely know that
muscle ups would be the most ever in a competition workout. So I could see them doing something like that. 100 front rack. Oh, that's 100 lunges. If it's 100 feet, I would say okay. But if it's 100 steps, they're not gonna do 300 lunges. It'd just be a boring ass workout. It's way too long.
They did make it clear on their podcast about quarterfinals that they were not happy with the choose your own adventure structure for the test for muscle ups, simply because you could hide your capacity in that better than if you had to do larger sets.
Oh, here we go. I got it better. Thanks, Vicky. Vicky gave me a good
better image.
Yeah.
Leave it to Vicky. Shout out.
I don't even know how she did that. How did you do that? So I got a new computer, and so one of the features of this new Mac is like if you pull something to the top of the screen, it'll
Mhm.
like the I don't know like the top crossbar, it'll expand into the whole screen. But like it happens, it's very sensitive. So like every time I move anything, it just expands to the whole screen. I'm like,
Oh
stop.
yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can share screen window.
Screenshot,
All right,
cleaned it up
here
and
we
made
go.
it bigger. Look at her go.
Money.
Dude, that's so good.
I know. I could see this one double dead. Just like a real volume based workout, 100 toes bar, 100 row, 100 wall balls. I could see something like this.
This is just fun. They did say they're going to do 3 days of competition. 2 days of them will be viewable to others. I think if I'm
Nice. Yeah, I
recalling.
think the first day is the
correctly.
run. They for sure have a run. So
Yeah, they've got something.
they've got the course run. So it's probably a 5K, or marathon run, 2 mile swim. God, wouldn't that be fucking wild if they made them run a marathon?
Wait, what was that row? Something
It's
bar
a
muscle
joke.
up?
Run, swim. Whoa, with this one?
Yes.
I can't see them doing, I don't know. Maybe.
The only reason is just because they did say they did not like the structure of the way the bar muscle ups were in quarterfinals. So I'm inclined to think they're going to try to give them a bigger chunk of muscle ups.
Yeah.
Or at least with gymnastic skills, put more density
Yeah, it'll be
chipper or something.
It'll for sure be in a chipper. What's happening here? Oh, she just got this online.
Yeah, she screenshot it and cleaned it up.
This one is probably very likely signature. That's their thing.
Oh, that's great. 100-foot
Um,
handstand walk and 50 GHDs, 3 rounds for time.
This is Jack Cindy's a pretty
I like
good
that.
one. This is a good one here. Jack Cindy, this is a
20
fun. I think that's
minutes.
they have like a staple, I feel like, of like a different Cindy variation that they do a lot.
Dude, that's a ton of volume of those things.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's a ton of interfering volume, like just that press fatigue.
And this is like a great example of how we're going to make this massive step. We're going to go from quarterfinals where we did make it 25% inclusive to semifinals. I mean, I think that was one of the things that someone was talking about, a conversation they had with JR. Do you remember that? Who they were just it was on a podcast. It wasn't JR saying it, but someone was saying they were having a conversation with him about how the semifinals programming is potentially going to like body some athletes who make it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's going to. People are getting to semifinals without having snatched over 135 pounds.
Yeah, which I'm paraphrasing what was said, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's for sure going to happen. Now, not here because everyone's invited, right? This isn't a qualifier. This is full invites.
Yeah. Did you see NorCal did announce that they've invited quite a few, but they're going to allow something like 15 spots or something like that for the top 200. So like people from the top 200 can apply.
Oh, cool.
On the NorCal page. Yeah. Anyway, so they have a bunch that they've already sent invitations for. People did the qualifier and qualified for, and then they have another section of spots. I think it was 15. It says on their page.
I thought I must have looked right over that. Oh no, I did. I saw that. This is a good one. This is a fun workout. Wall ball clean and jerk. 15 wall balls, 3 clean and jerks at 225, 155. This is a good one. I really like this workout.
How many clean and jerks is that? I don't know why
30.
that's total. Yeah, gotcha.
That's cool. This is a really good workout. Karen and Grace and Heavy Grace, I can see them doing this one for sure. Because they don't like to do 1 RMs. And so I think this is definitely highly likely. And then I think this one is probably the other, like on the trail. It's like very specific to the distance, and they could just be trolling, but I can see this. This is very similar to how they did it last time. I think they said, Jake, good morning, Jake. I think they said this is the workouts that like the workouts are in here, but I could be totally wrong. I just like looking at these workouts. This is really, I'll probably have My I'll probably try to scan this and write all these down because there's just a lot of good inspiration in a workout like
I was going to say, I know you're loving this just
in a
purely from
writing.
the
Yeah, this
perspective of
is
being a
like
programmer.
this is just
You're giddy.
like when it's hard for me, it's like my struggle as a coach is like getting into like competition CrossFit writing style.
Yep.
I just always write. It's just very linear and kind of boring. Just to be honest, like it's just very weakness based and like capacity improvement.
Yep.
And so when I see big competitions, like it's just very inspiring as a coach and something for me to view. Oh, this is for sure.
Well, and as much as it's
exactly what I'm
boring,
gonna do.
linear, whatever, that all being said, it's also effective because you have somebody like Gucci who openly shared that, like, it's baffling to her that gymnastics is her best performance at this point. So you've obviously been programming effectively to get her.
This is the next workout, 100%, and I have no question about it.
The dirty
30s for sure. This is it. This is their muscle up capacity workout. Without, I'm 80% positive.
Okay.
I love that workout.
Mm-hmm.
I love that workout.
30 sandbag squats, 30 ring muscle
ups.
Such
a great workout.
30 sandbag squats, 30 bar muscle ups, 30 sandbag squats.
I love it.
Man, I can't wait to see how this does get broadcast because there's some big dogs coming to this competition and this is going to be fun.
We're going to screenshot this one. I love this workout. Sorry.
You have the whole thing.
I know, but I just wanted this one specifically.
Yeah. You don't have anybody going to compete there. No. Yeah.
Vicky threw it into AI too. She just sent it to me. It's amazing. It's amazing what like scraping can do now and how fast you can.
Oh, to go ahead and just pull it and kind of get a list view type thing.
No, you just like put it in an Excel sheet. So that's what Jake just said, right? You put it into Chatters, which is just another like AI platform, and it'll just literally write it all out.
Yeah. You've been having fun using that for streamlining a lot of your stuff too. Right?
Yeah, for some organization.
Love it.
Exclude all the workouts that do not have a cool name. 100%. I will.
I feel like we need to have like a company-wide tutorial on some of the stuff that you guys are up to.
Wait, just let us do it for you. Just faster.
Teach me how to do it.
The amount of time. Oh my gosh, the amount of time that we're spending. Anyways, we're gonna move on. I don't want to. It's just it takes a lot of time.
Okay.
Nobody sent it to Gus. Nobody. Anyways, this is cool. I could sit here and just look through these all day. Like this would take me a couple hours to like dig through. But I love it. Squat for your life. Not a good one.
How often do you test workout? Like when you write workouts that are geared towards that are not the weakness progression stuff, how often do you wind up testing those? I guess it really just depends on if you can or not. What up, Terry?
I was on the phone with Terry this morning.
That's my girl.
Probably not as much as I should. I just think people like, I mean, it seems to work, but I mean, when you just hit people with like a competition thing, it's just hard for people to get into that like intensity and in there. And I think just the style of athlete that I'm going through, like, I think that's just more appropriate for younger athletes. Like I think for the older athlete, it's just so much about like just like tolerating the volume and getting there healthy and doing all of those things over just like hammering a boatload of intensity.
Yeah.
And so not as much as I probably should, just to be honest. Like, I mean, it's definitely it's something I'm trying to like improve on. And I have opportunities coming up that will challenge me to improve on those things too. So.
Do you want to elaborate at all anymore there?
No.
Okay. Well, so do I need to make a note? Can I ask about this after the show? What did you just allude to? Opportunity. I'm literally making a note. Let's see. So speaking of volume tolerance, preparation for intensity, etc., do you want to talk at all about, so quarterfinals did just happen. And so we
Mm-hmm.
do have, two different subsets of athletes, those that are continuing on, which based on the fact that they've got 300 per division is quite a few
Yeah, it's all
for
of
age
them.
groups.
It's
And then,
literally all of them in the like 55, 60, 65, and 70. Which, I mean, I have twofold. I think it's fun that everyone gets to go play. I think that's great.
I agree.
But it should have been way lower. The numbers should have just been drastically lower. Like for 60, 65, 70, that number should have been
Significantly low.
100, maybe
Well,
even less.
And I mean, it's also, it's exciting. Oh, I can go on to the next stage. And then you look at how we went from no video review, one certified judge, which that's great. But also plenty of people had certified judges that apparently still didn't understand very simple standards.
Oh yeah,
Very simple standards. Like the dumbbells coming off of the shoulders before the athlete reaches full hip and knee extension. Like I agree, to me, like that's okay. That's straightforward. Right. But I could see a blurry line there occurring more commonly, but I'm talking plenty of athletes who don't even get their hips below their knees, things like that, that are like more obvious. I would say I would expect them to be anyway. So we go
squat depth is just like a universal issue, like everywhere, even at like high level athletes, right? Because everyone's skirting the line and it's fast, and
the fast makes it challenging.
There's no excuse.
For sure.
I mean, like I yell at Gucci about it all the time. Like she'll send a video and I'm like, dude, you're not. I'm like, stop it.
Questionable.
Yeah, I'm like, don't be questionable.
Yeah,
just be less questionable, right? And especially in training, and so same with Nelson. I yell at Nelson all the time about that shit. I'm like,
oh yeah,
all the time.
Yeah, because he's just trying to race. That makes me. Wow, why am I blanking? He's an Australian, I believe, who went on a rant about this. Shoot. Anyway, what I was attempting to like get us to was that we go from all of that to now all these athletes qualified, but you must have 2 level 1s who also have the certified judges course on the floor simultaneously. And you know what I mean? Like and so I'm not against that, but it's definitely a massive jump. So even though so many athletes did go ahead and qualify to the next stage, I wonder how many of them are going to take a look at the stipulations required in order for them to actually do the tests and enter those scores, and how many that will weed out of the ones that don't have genuine games aspirations. And in a way, I hope it doesn't weed out a bunch, or that they at least, because I don't know, I think it is fun to get to move on and into the next stages, but there's a lot more that is required now.
Right. I think, interestingly enough, unless they are injured, so like Terry's 70, right? I think that number is going to be really, really close, right? Because they all did quarterfinals knowing that they had no chance to make the games, right? Like the 150th 70-year-old female is hardly doing a pull-up, right?
Yeah.
And so, but they're excited to do the thing again, and they're going to do it, so I think I think you'll see in the higher age groups that number, that attrition is like very small. In the lower age groups, I think it's going to be really drastic, right? Like 35, 40, 45, that number. So of the 300 or 400 that qualify, it's going to be well under 200, in my opinion, like under 50%. But the older age groups, I think, will be higher, closer to the basically however many people did the quarterfinal.
Interesting. I don't know.
That's how it usually is. Usually it's 50. Usually 50% is usually the like the assumed level. Like this, if the X amount of people were invited, 50% are signed up.
Gotcha. Sorry, I was reading a comment. But and speaking of the barely doing a pull-up in the 70 plus, also just have to note, especially since Terry's here, I've talked about her aerobic capacity, not like, I'm just going to broadly to my mother or my aunt or whatever, kind of catching up on life and work and whatever. I've been like, so we have an athlete in the 70 plus that I just judged all weekend. I cannot believe it. Like, anyway, I just shout out to her because I was like pretty shook at how fit she is. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Obviously she's not the only one, but I was like,
so I'll brag and poke fun at Terry. So Terry's always been pretty comparable at gymnastics relative to the field. That's like always been, she's a good puller. She's got big biceps, right? She used to do bodybuilding
Oh,
like
I know. We
way
talked
back in
about
the
it.
day.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so she's always been a good puller, but we had a shoulder thing, and so we haven't done a ton of it. But we're back to it, and it was fine. And so getting through the 30 chest to bar in that workout was a huge. We were unsure, right? Because we hadn't done a lot of chest to bars to this point, and so uh, so we thought that was going to be a good score, and then we thought her double under workout, which double unders have always been like a point of contention. I mean, like the point of contention in her whole CrossFit training career, right? Like the number one thing. And and the pull-up workout was her worst by far, and she won the double under workout. Well, it says second, but I'm pretty confident the person in first is not an accurate score because it's like 530.
Okay. Yeah.
And which is impossible. I think impossible for a 7-year-old female to get 530 on the deadlift workout.
Okay.
What
was her score? I can't remember. I know I remember being there, and well, I was there the first time. You guys did it a second time, and she went.
And so, which she did great, right? She got like a minute and a half better, but
that was like minute 38 or 39, something like that.
Yeah, and so it was just an interesting one, right? Because we were in the phone this morning, and we were talking about rope climbs, and she was like, "Well, I feel really good with, rope climbs. They're not a weakness." And I'm like, "Well, we haven't done them, so you don't have any capacity with them because we haven't had access to a rope, and so we need to work on them." And I was like, "Technically, right now, relative to the field, you're probably better at double unders than you are rope climbs compared to all your other competitors," which is just such a like
crazy thing to say.
180 flip, right? Of like I've been working with Terry for 6 years now, and so on and off in 5 years, and so it's just an interesting thing how that sort of works through. And anyways,
so I'm assuming that you will make adjustments between now and semifinals to definitely focus on pulling.
Yeah, so Terry's great. Like Terry makes the commitment, right? She digs in, and she shifts gyms and like commits to a different like living situation for the time being and the need. And so yeah, and there's a lot of options right now for athletes that finished high enough, and it's kind of hey Duke, it's kind of up in the air, right? Like, are they going to go in person? Or are they going to do online? Which in person are they going to go to? Because like Del Mar's 3 weeks away, and the invites aren't out yet, which is insanity to me. Like, I don't even know how. Like, it's just like they haven't said a word. Like Bob and Joe haven't said anything.
And it's 3 weeks out.
3 weeks. But I mean, they didn't know till Monday, but you would think if like they could just ask Boz, "Hey, are you going to review any videos?" No. Okay. So Wednesday night when it closes, that's it. Right. Like you could just know that internally, or you just send out the invites with a caveat like, "Hey, the invites are going out. This is it. If your score gets moved off the board, it's not on our call. Your invite is removed." You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Again, just things that seem very easy are, yeah. So the leaderboard finalized, which is just such another dumb thing from CrossFit. If they're not going to review videos, why does it have to wait till the 10th? Like, what are we doing? Yeah. Right. And so.
Yeah, one of our academy members, he placed we did a call yesterday, and he had 248th or something in his division. It was in the 50s somewhere. Nice. And I was just like, he was like, "Well, it's not final yet." And I'm like, "Well, the odds of you bumping below that are pretty."
Well, the only way to drop down is if your score gets removed.
Correct.
Right. So like that's like the interesting. Yeah, the only way for you to ever move down is if your score just flat out gets removed. One of Rose's athletes at her gym is 40 to 45, 40 44, or 45 to 49. It's 290 or is 399. It's right there.
So wait, I'm sorry. Then at that age division, they're taking 400
through 50, and then 355 to 70.
Got it.
I wanted to pull this up. So Justin says 2 level 1s can be logistically tricky. 100%. There's no question about it. But now there's money on the line, and now the real competition. I don't want to say the real competition begins, but the more structured competition begins, where there's going to be video reviews, and now we're qualifying people from this specific thing to something where hundreds of thousands of people want to go do every year, right? Yep, so like tough it out, travel, right? You know, oh, you didn't get invited to Del Mar or Magic City or whatever overseas masters qualifier there is. Guess what? Then you need to go travel to a gym and get a hotel, and you need to go find somewhere. You know what I mean? Like find somewhere, pay some money. You have to put an investment into yourself. That's just a part of it, right? Like it's one weekend. You're going to do this. If you qualify for the games, you're going to do the same thing, except for an entire week. You're going to stay. You're going to go play in Sacramento. You're going to do all the things. So this is your other weekend that you have to commit to sacrificing other things so that you can qualify for the thing you want to go to. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so I just don't, I don't have any empathy that like this is challenging, like at all. I think it's very, very, very appropriate on across the board.
And so then obviously from here, we're going to narrow straight to the games field, you know, so this is
Right.
going to be such a massive narrowing as well.
Yep.
So do you want to touch on this one at all?
CJ, I missed out by like 300 spots. I know that's a lot, but I suck so bad at handstand push-ups, and I could have easily made that up much closer than I thought. Sounds like you need a different program.
I was going to say, then it just like, it sounds like you have a very clear bit of information about what to work on.
Yeah, it's CrossFit training. We want it to be like really fancy, but it just doesn't have to be, right? Like, I mean, if you have a huge hole in handstand push-ups, like you just attack it till it's not a hole anymore, right?
Yeah.
It's that simple. Now, the challenge is like, can you mentally handle just like doing the shit you suck at every day, all the time? That's the question, right? That's the only question. And so it is that's the challenge point, right? And just remember, every other sport does that. Like every other sport does that very consistently. But most of the time people don't like have like huge holes in their sport if they're elite at it, right? Because like that's the only way they're elite. Since CrossFit's a law of averages, then you're always going to have things that are like very subpar relative to the things that you're really good at. And with most other sports, that just doesn't really happen because their need is much more narrow, right? Like they're much more specialized, like a NFL wide receiver, right? Like that athlete is very narrow in they're very narrow in like their window and their things, right? But they can still jump more and things like that. But it's a good example is like Usain Bolt, right? Like his top end speed was obviously the best ever, but his starting speed was not that great, right? And so that's all he worked on. Like that's all they worked on was like his first 20 meters, right? He never had to really hammer top end work ever, right? So it was power out of the blocks. That was like the primary of his training for his entire career, and it got better, but it never got great, right? Like relative to like Christian Gray or the other sub 9.8 runners that ran against him 2012 London and 2008 in Beijing. And so so to answer your question, you follow Sentinel.
Finish this out because
how often would you work handstand? I think that depends on your program. If you're hitting it, then it's fine. I don't even know if it's just handstand push-ups. Like you want to get your you want to get like your dumbbell seated strict press too, right? Incline bench press up, and working wall facing. I like different angles a lot, but I mean, it's probably 2 to 3 times a week. As long as you don't have, that's exactly good call, Gus. Gus says as frequently as your body will allow.
Graded exposure.
Yeah. Don't like, if you're struggling to do, sets of 5 for more than 4 or 5 sets, fresh, don't try to add in 150 to 200 reps a week. That's probably not going to be great. Right. Frequency is king. So no matter how much we harp on, I think people do too much volume in the sport across the board. Yep. Volume is the number one driver for adaptation always, right? It's just, can you handle the amount of volume you're doing, right? But there's a reason why powerlifters don't run, and they just squat and they just bench press and they just deadlift and they just expose themselves to the thing all the time, because that's the goal. Specificity and frequency are the number one things to improve whatever it is that you're looking for. Oh, my lights match my shirt perfectly. Just then they were switching through, and it was like green and purple. There it is. It's blue. Anyway, so
I love how excited you got about that.
Well, it did. Well, like it was like it just like
Perfect.
sat over my shoulder.
Yeah, I do like the gradient. It's nice, but
and
definitely
so
reading the comments.
So yeah, I mean, and these are all great examples, right? I also don't think you need to be very clever in what you're doing either, right? So C press or seated press or Zotz press or whatever it is. Exactly, squirrel. It just do handstand push-ups a lot. And then I really for handstand push-ups, like if you can do them, right? I really like deficit, even if the deficit is lower volume, right? Like if it's 1 inch or 2 inch, even if you're doing, like if you feel really comfortable in the 8 to 10 unbroken range when you're really fresh, right? Like going to that 2 to 4 at a 1 inch or 2 inch deficit is really that's what we've done to really help Gucci. And then if you're really feeling comfortable with it, like Gucci started doing some like weighted strict handstand push-ups too. I know Braden's a little higher level, and obviously this is like regressed further and over like an overreaching, sort of like if people are working strict pull-up strength, I almost always try to go weighted or strict chest to bar. And so yeah. So anyways.
It says when I was trying to get better at handstand push-ups, I did them 3 times a week, and every Friday I did 100 in some way. And that like yet again speaks to like I just always want to come back to the graded exposure, because we're like, yeah, frequency is king, volume is king, etc. Like getting that exposure to it for adaptation. Yes. And then also let's look at where we are today. And we, if we go from never really working our weaknesses, or maybe just doing it once a week, and then we go to try to work on it every single day, like that's a sudden shift up. And so like just making sure that we're increasing at a rate that our body will tolerate and adapt to without injury, of course. Anyway.
Yep.
But I love it. And I think too, let's see, Amanda up here says it does take a good mental game to spend pretty much all of your time working on the things that you're not good at. It is a requirement to level up for sure though, which of course, Amanda, I don't know her history. I know that she's one of your athletes. And it was amazing to watch her this past weekend, but I'm new here. And so I don't know what all you guys have kind of focused on and brought up and where it was before to where it is now, but I can just tell by watching her that she is committed to that. And I think one of the other, like, it's just, we get to exist in an ecosystem that forces us to take a look at stuff and get uncomfortable about what we're not good at, And I really appreciate that about CrossFit, because there are so many different methodologies that you could easily settle into a skewed or a narrow, number of elements or things that you actually work on. And we have so many. Yeah. And so, and it just, anyway, like speaking totally personally from getting to look at my scores and the skill stuff and how that was trash relative to the other stuff. And it's like, I am grateful I'm in an ecosystem that makes me look at that, and that it does, I actually can have a reaction to it and be like, there's no good reason for this other than that I just have not chosen to prioritize it. And if I want to get better, which we all do, how badly do I want to get better? And it's not rocket science to do the thing. You just have to do the thing, which your athletes obviously do exceptionally well. But I thought it was interesting too. I was asking you before the weekend whether, I was like, well, obviously me supporting the athletes here is the priority. And however, I did qualify. Should I go ahead and sign up and do it? And you were just like, I think that if you can, you should. And you were like, I have a pretty strong opinion about that. And I appreciated that from you.
Good. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think I'm glad you did. It's fun watching you work out. You really hammer it.
Other than you got really mad at me, or not really mad, but you were like so annoyed with me during bar muscle ups, which was completely fair. I
wasn't totally annoyed with you. What do you mean? You make it happen.
Yeah. You just said at the end, you were just like, you talk way too much. And I'm like, well, because I know what's happening here. I can stand around.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think that's more of a, that's more of like a universal thing. If someone's having a conversation with me in a workout.
Yeah.
Right.
And I did obviously during other workouts where I could actually do things. That was very much so not the case, but
do the thing.
Yeah. Anyway, those we had to stand around. Anyway,
finish your thought.
I think I cut you off.
Has Avera even been here for your shows? This person? Have you seen this person in our comments?
Not in a little while.
Oh, I just didn't know if like he'd ever. I mean, it's been a while since he's been in here. I didn't know if you had seen his name at all.
Oh, yeah. Many
Okay.
times.
I can't remember how long it's been. Yeah, the standard thing sucks. I mean, it just is what it is, right? I mean, we can only harp on it so much. There's no question. I don't know if Icky's the right. I mean, this is the we always have this. Everyone just thinks we don't, and it's like, oh, it's like what was it? James Newberry posted. I feel like every time I see him on screen, he just looks like a different human.
Who, James?
James Newberry. Yeah.
That's the Australian athlete that I was literally trying to come up with that went on his rant, right?
Yes.
Yep. There we go.
And so I was like, oh, standards are different. And I just fucking disagree so hard. I just don't think that they are. I don't think they're different.
Do you want to
even
pull up
a
the
little?
clip?
Huh?
Do you want
Sure. I think it's the same that it's always been. We just like care to call it out more. That's it.
Just DM'd it to you.
Oh.
However you want to get there faster. Also, Justin, thank you for this. This is it's been really
in the CrossFit.
Cool to plug into the ecosystem that already exists within WODprep and watch CJ with his athletes and so on, like purely selfishly. It's been really, really good for me to just be like, why are you okay with being crap at certain things? Like, that's kind of ridiculous. And I appreciate that so much. It's kind of one of the things I say all the time about being, Jimmy's partner in life is I'm like, oh my gosh, exposure to his mindset very much so has positively influenced me. So anyway, CJ, and you and your athletes who are here now, thank you guys for that. I appreciate it. Okay, go ahead.
I wanted to bring this up. Avera, me and Claire come on at the exact same time every week for the last 4 months.
Broadcast times vary a lot more now. Yeah, we do 7:30 p.m. on Mondays with John Young, and then we do 7 a.m. on Fridays.
Cool. All right, here, let's watch this. Also,
Space these days. Back in 2011, 12,
I wish I could fast forward Instagram videos.
13, 14, 15, it wasn't so much of a problem. But these days, people that are competing at the CrossFit Games are getting away with murder, not finishing off their muscle ups in the lockout position, fading away before they finished, putting the dumbbell down before they finished their lunge. They're not standing up their deadlifts. They're not standing up on top of the box. They're not finishing the push jerk. They're finishing thrusters away from the frontal plane. And the reason why I believe this is the case is because, and this goes both ways, it trickles up and down. Most of the people competing at the CrossFit Games these days, I can almost guarantee none of them have done a CrossFit fundamentals. They never got taught when they first walked into a box because they were, fit track runner or ex-college something or other, or whatever it may be, or the affiliate has done away with CrossFit fundamentals because they just want to get as many people in the gym as they possibly can. And everyone used to implement a CrossFit fundamentals. When you go to a box, it was like just procedure. You did CrossFit fundamentals, you do it over 2 to 3 sessions, and that was the entry into the gym because you need to know the standards. They did away with that because, I guess competition just started becoming saturated, and people were like, you don't have to do fundamentals at our gym, just come and join in. So people thought, oh, sweet, I'll save myself $150 and I'll go to the gym that doesn't make me do fundamentals. Therefore, the standards dropped off. And then those are the types of people that are now making it all the way through the CrossFit Games. Then they're doing poor standards at CrossFit Games and through the Open and not hitting lockout on anything and not finishing off movements the way they were supposed to be done. And then the people who are watching the CrossFit Games.
I just want to say without dreads, he just looks like a High Rocks athlete now. And I know that's what he does. Like, he's not a CrossFitter anymore. He doesn't, like, he prioritizes whatever else. He just like his whole vibe, the hat, the feel, like he just looks more like a hybrid rock star than he did like a G CrossFitter. I don't know. He's also just bothering the shit out of me with this whole thing.
Let's counter this. We're good. We got the point, right? So the counter to this would be an example that on Best Hour of Their Day podcast, Jenny, Dense Updates, went on there and they kind of talked to her about her journey. She said, she joined in 2010 or something like that.
Yeah, she's a super OG CrossFitter.
She is. And she was like, yeah, they just like gave you a wall ball and said, like, go figure, she was like, we didn't have any processes for new people. Whereas today, I mean, a lot of gyms have fundamentals. And so I don't know if this is a regional thing. Like, I don't know if this is local to him or what it is. I don't know. So yet again, like if that's what he's experiencing, then that's what he's experiencing.
Sure.
But at least what I see around here is totally I mean, gyms that I'm acquainted with definitely have some type of an on-ramp entry point, foundations, fundamentals, whatever you want to call it, something to bring an athlete in.
Mhm.
And then it's like the culture of the gym's responsibility to enforce those things over the course of time.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of like good value here, but to say that it's different now than it was is just silly. It's not. It's the same. It's the exact same, right? The only thing now is people post their shit online, right?
Mm.
When we had the open and you had to submit one video to go to regionals, right? They would ask like they would always ask the handstand push-up video. Guess where that video ever went? Nowhere. It only went to CrossFit behind closed doors. And then people would get fucking railroaded on the leaderboard and they would just start getting reps knocked off. Like, I don't know why I'm getting reps knocked off. Right. It's like, yeah, because you move like shit. Everyone. And so it's just the dumb. I can't believe they no repped me because my hands were touching the line on the handstand push up or because my ass touched the wall, like, which I'm a question mark when I lock my handstand push-ups out, right? Or my wall ball didn't reach height or whatever it is. And so it only seems more now because everyone has to post their entire life on social media.
Yeah.
And then Hiller revolves his entire life around exposing people that post their life on social media, right? And so which is fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
Do the thing, but it's not different. It's the same fucking nothing is new. None of this is new, right? It's not more rampant. It's not worse. It's not anything, right? Now, the situation, right, of like how they're qualifying to the next thing and not having any review at all and not having any sort of influence, right, to even just scare people to like, hey, you should probably just like move a little better because your shit's going to be public. All you have to do is say that, and then these videos, I mean, they don't go away fully, but they reduce, right? No one wants to be on
Subject
Hiller.
to. Yeah. Yeah.
Like no one wants to be exposed like that, right? And so, well, I say that, but they put their video online on their personal thing, assuming that they did it well. And yeah, this is it too, right? Like there's a lot of stuff, but I just want to make clear it's not new, right? This is also what I thought when I first saw this video. I had no idea it was James. It took me a minute to like, I'm like, I know that voice. I'm like, why don't I know this person's face? And so nothing is new. It's all the same. And I think has nothing to do with on ramping or anything like that. I think we're very similar in those situations. I mean, there are certainly, yeah, I don't know, like the overall sentiment of like people move like shit and we're not policing movements very well is very accurate, but I don't think it's new. I think it's just moving the same that we always did in the same time, and now he's just outside looking in. He's not in it, right? And so it feels more amplified because he's only consuming it. Because what does social media do? It only consumes, like, it just gives you what you want. And if you're upset about standards, it's going to give you more things that make you more upset about standards, right? And so it is, like he's probably being influenced by that, right? And so I just don't think there's an argument here, like at all. The only valid thing is like it still stinks. Now at the top level, things like the muscle up, things like the dumbbell coming down early, yeah, like those things they've definitely changed a little bit over the years, but I don't think it's so much that they've changed. I think it's just we're going so much faster, right? And so the judges are having to make harder calls on the floor because the athletes are just better. They're like, oh, they lock out their deadlifts worse now than they did before. And it's like, well, and I'm not saying this is a good thing, but like Hiller says right there, like, well, if just assume like Daniel Brandon and Laura Horvath are next to each other, right? And so they're doing a deadlift workout and Laura's getting away with murder, right? And Danielle's going to try to keep up, right? And if her judge is going to let it go, then they're going to let it go, right? And so that's on a judge's issue at that point, right? The push away on the muscle up, if they're going to let it go, like it's the athlete's job is to win, right? At all costs,
Yep.
right? It's not to go in there with virtuosity and like like, oh, my moral compass is strong, so I'm going to stand here and hold my deadlift until I get the down signal. And it's like, I got to do 100 of them. Well, if I wait for the down signal every single time, that's
Yeah, I
that's
definitely
2.5
I
minutes of
already
just
lost
lockout, right?
for
So,
sure. Yep.
so that's just the normal, like, I think the normal progression of competition. It's like, it would be like being in the NFL and saying like, oh, can I block you? Yes, you can block me now, sir. You're just like, let's have a conversation. Oh yes, now you can sweep under me and go get the quarterback. Like, just no, that's not going to happen. They're going to do everything they can to win, right? So if they don't get punished for it, then they're going to do it, right?
Yep.
But this is the craziest one. I think this is what makes me laugh the most, is that like nothing was public and there's still, content for people to make and pick fun at the other athletes. It's like people posting the workout too in their squat depth and thinking it's good. Just like, wow, that's crazy. I think that one just makes me laugh. You're just like, man. Also, another reason why it's really hard to, well, you should never measure worth against the leaderboard, but if you are, it's really hard to measure worth against the leaderboard, like a non-reviewed standards leaderboard, right?
Yeah.
Just like, always take it with a grain of salt.
Yep. Yeah. Kevin says, just because you don't do the fundamentals doesn't mean you can't pursue virtuosity with your members in every class that you coach. And then Gus said, we still do fundamentals at one of the gyms I coach at. The other one, we trust the coaches to coach and correct. And so obviously there are different ways to go about this, but definitely, I mean, it's just, he called it systemic there. And I certainly, I don't know how many, you've probably dropped in at many gyms throughout the years, right? Oh, yeah. And I've had the luxury of in certain seasons of life to drop in at like tons of gyms in different countries and just all over the United States. And it's just interesting. You can tell within a matter of minutes how the entire population is going to move, based on just a couple of different things. And so it's really culture within the gym. And, once the athlete has been around long enough, and if they get curious enough to start to pay attention to the media and so on, then they can pick up on it outside of their gym. But also remembering that the average everyday CrossFitter, like they're not watching the show, or any one of them. They're going to the gym for that hour, et cetera. So what they are aware of as far as standards goes is entirely dependent upon the leadership within those four walls.
Yeah, for sure. I agree 100%. I think Mako still does one. I just went to their website because I'm never in the gym anymore. They still do one, four personal sessions, one-on-one sessions. It's not like an on-ramp class, but I think every new member has to go through one. So I think people do it. I think it's definitely more prevalent than James is alluding to. It's also not, I don't know. Arguably, do I think it's necessary? I think it's better than not, for sure. But I think everyone finds their own flow.
This is cool. On Dana Lynn Bailey's YouTube, I think is where that video is. She just did a collaboration with Danny Spiegel. Oh, yeah. And it was pretty cool because she talked about on that like her first exposure years ago to CrossFit was some workout. And if I'm remembering correctly, it was GHDs and it was a decent amount of volume. So of course she was that prime target demographic that like can do the thing because she's fit and strong and, and so she wound up getting rhabdo. And so talk about your first experience freaking you out. And that's the athlete that's going to happen to, someone who's pretty fit coming in or pretty strong coming in anyway. And so it's just cool because that occurred and probably it seemed like, probably freaked her out then about CrossFit, but here she is in a CrossFit gym again. I know she just recently did a Hyrox collaboration with Sydney Wells, and here she is doing CrossFit workouts with Danny Spiegel. And they talked about that. And she at least, was now understanding that like, oh, that was just too fast of that broad range of motion. And she even did GHDs, I believe, in that workout that they did together and just shortened the range of motion and lessened the volume, so like really cool moment there to document all of that for somebody like Dana. So anyway, I've always loved Dana. So it's so fun to see her back inside of a CrossFit affiliate, just kind of dabbling.
Yeah, it's cool.
No. CJ. Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely not. I don't think so. No. In any capacity, maybe a V-up, maybe probably just a sit up. Even then, like it just depends on their, man, I've seen people get I hate saying the word, I hate saying rhabdo, right? Let's just call it like excessive soreness. Um, uh, and it's interesting what deconditioned people like can't tolerate, or what at least what their physiology can't tolerate. Like even if they can do it in the moment, you know what I mean, or how sore someone can get from doing 15 air squats. And everyone in here and people in like in CrossFit gyms will they think they know what decondition looks like, but I mean they have no idea, right? Like no idea. Like going to a nursing home and or like getting someone out of surgery out of a hospital bed that's been lying there for 2 weeks, right? Like the how low people can get from like their ability is just like mind-boggling. Like everyone's like, oh, I'm weak, my glutes are weak. I'm like, no, it's not. Nothing you see in a CrossFit gym. If they were able to walk in there in pretty much any capacity, like maybe 1% have walked in there and like, wow, this is crazy, right? But like most people just have like some capacity to be like a functioning human, and it's wild to see how deconditioned people can get and how weak they can get, like truly weak, right? No one's weak inside of a CrossFit gym, not really.
Yeah.
Not like on the grand scheme of life and other humans that aren't in a fucking functional fitness gym.
Oh man, that makes me think of the thing I sent you about Greg, but apparently we're banished from talking about that for this section of the
I
season.
didn't say that.
Well, it was a really cool lecture. Souza on his show pulled up like a 2.5-minute video or something like that CrossFit had posted 10 years ago. That was Greg Glassman talking about his desire to get big soda, Coca-Cola, whatever, out of the sports, whatever industry. Anyway.
Yep.
And then I just went back and found a video from like 8 years ago and was just watching it where he was addressing a town hall apparently.
Mhm.
And it was just so fascinating just watching him speak to these not CrossFitters in the way that he speaks. And it's like elegantly insulting.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
he's so good. It's so powerful because he's just telling them the truth and not sugarcoating.
He does always he does come off condescending pretty regularly.
Oh, I love it though. It's just like, this is self-inflicted.
Yeah, for sure.
This is your addiction is self-inflicted. And that's what this is, by the way. You could call it whatever you want, but I'm paraphrasing again, but I loved watching it. Anyway, just the deconditioned part made me think of that because his off the carbs, off the couch initiative.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it always makes me laugh when someone's like, man, I'm really weak. I'm like, no, you're not. Like you just want to squat 500 and you squat 400, right? Like people can't get out of a chair without using their arms. Like a lot. Like people in your life right now, like everyone watching this show has a family member that's not 90 that literally has to swing themselves out of a chair to get out of it if they're not using their arms. Right? Or has to push off their legs to stand up. Every single person.
It's really cool to watch a family member on the flip side of things. I just put the link to that in the chat.
What chat? Our chat?
Yeah.
Oh, text. Nope.
Where is it?
Did you put it in Instagram?
No, I put it in the chat for the show, but it didn't pop up.
The private chat?
Is it popping up for you guys? Because I can see it on the chat on my phone, but I can't see it in StreamYard. Anyway, just for that episode or that video of Greg at that town hall, it's really cool to watch a family member also unlock that again, to have lost access to the ability to get out of a chair without swinging out of it. What are you laughing at?
I'll tell you later.
And to watch
the momentum is, it's not. Like that's the problem. Right. You don't need to. You just do it because
you
we're
just
conditioned to. Yeah, because a lot of people do that, right? And so it's one of the first things that I would have people do when they would come in for a knee thing or a hip thing or whatever pain in the PT clinic. Is I was like, do not use your arms, get out of a chair. Just number one, that's all you have to do. I don't even need you to do your home exercise program because you're not going to do it, right? I was like, just start not using your arms to get in and out of a chair. And yeah, oh man, who was like, what was I? I was talking to JD, he's a watcher, he's a gym owner. And so we were talking about like what's a functional movement and what's not, and how unfunctional a snatch probably truly is from the things you'll see in life, right? Same with like a handstand push-up. And so and I was like, I think there's some validity there, right? But the snatch being the cornerstone of violent hip extension, which is the cornerstone of like all movement,
Yeah, core to
core to
extremity.
extremity, right? And so anyways, what we were going into, and I was like, well, if you really break it down that far, then the only functional movements are like our 5 patterns, right? Which is ambulation in some capacity, getting on and off the ground, picking something up off the floor, pressing something
Getting it
away from
overhead.
you and pulling something towards you, right? Like those are like our 5 things. You know what I mean? Like that's it. In theory, those are the only real functional patterns. Because we were talking about he was talking about feels like some of them are just kind of like silly, and yeah, I mean maybe they are in the grand scheme, but it's pretty cool to snatch a lot of weight,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, what a
it's
sexy way to be able to create that core to extremity that you're
yeah,
going to use for all of your other more
yeah, it's
basic
cool.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And so when you really think about it, like those are it. Those are our 5. Those are our 5 things, and so a lot of people can't do those things, right? Like if you tell someone to get on and off the ground,
Yeah.
it's crazy how how much people struggle to just like lay on the ground and get back up. And then
Yeah.
we
And it's
do,
actually like it's not funny. It's really scary.
yeah, it's wild. Yeah, I mean, I think the argument is that like we can accomplish this in way other ways that aren't as complex. Like you can accomplish every piece of this in a way that doesn't require like I think the overhead squat is like the most valuable in broad pattern, even more than a snatch.
More than like a deadlift or a burpee or
Yeah, I think, well, from like if I can only do one movement forever, I think it's what's going to cover the most bases. And so that's like where the argument Kevin's making here is that like the snatch does the most stuff, and it does, but some people just can't fucking learn it. Like they just can't learn it. Like it's just awkward, it's weird. They just don't have that like athleticism to
Hey, don't
be
say
able
they
to do it.
can't. I don't agree with you.
There are some people that like them trying to learn a snatch is not the best use of their time. A power clean would suffice way better, right? Or even a clean pull or a hang clean pull. And
It's not
so
that they
on.
can't. You would choose to use their time otherwise.
Right. Now, again, I think moving a bar, uh, I think it's just like the effectiveness of it. Like there's quite a few people that their ability to do that and that road is not worth going over. That's not Chandler Smith still snatches like 275 pounds. Right?
He's
It
still
just might be
so
ugly.
strong.
Yeah, this is
Ah.
it's just more of like the bang for your buck, right?
Yeah.
And so like
Yeah.
the power clean is just, in theory, it's like the clean pull, right? Like that's going to accomplish all the same things, right? That's why football players don't snatch, right? If it was that valuable, then way more people would do it. But because of the other demands, which I think those other demands can be more broad for lifelong stuff, some people just are not going to get there, right?
Gus's comment is funny.
Right, yeah. High priorities in life.
There, it's functional.
And so I don't remember where I was going with that, but it's just interesting of like why we choose to do certain things. But being functional sort of forever, it doesn't take as much as like we make it seem to be, like just in our sport. It's cool, and this is definitely the best way to express it overall, but it could be regressed a lot and people would still improve drastically in their lives.
Sure.
But I think that's how
Because that's also why we're here.
Right. And I think,
we're
I
here
think that's
because
how
we're
Greg,
inspired. And
exactly.
it made us curious about a movement we never were before.
Right. For sure. 100%.
Word choices dictates belief, which dictates action. Can't is a no-go. Yeah.
This is funny. That Grace is Gus's wife. And ironically, maybe not ironically, but funny enough, parents still not impressed with my snatch. So, but she still loves me. So thank God.
Does she what are, I guess, like your well, I mean, your competitive CrossFit journey, because you guys were together before you got into CrossFit. And so then she
100%.
watched your entry and through the years of you becoming competitive and then of course having to pivot away from that. But yeah, that's interesting that she was along for that entire
Whole thing. Oh yeah.
journey.
We're going on, what year is it? 26. We're going like over half our life, 15 years. We've been together for literally the majority. I mean, our whole
That
adult
is
life.
so cool.
I
Wait,
know.
you're coming up on 15 years together?
15 years dating. We already passed it. It was in January.
That's incredible.
Yeah, wild.
That is wild. That is so cool.
Yep.
Just yeah.
Grant, you say this every time.
Congratulations.
Grant does this every time as if the show doesn't always go 90 minutes on Friday. Like we always do a 90-minute show. At least.
You are cracking me up right now with like, we are consistent. What are you guys talking about?
Like, I don't understand. Oh, this is still on. Yes, we never do a sub 1 hour show ever. Like ever.
Yeah.
And if I don't have to leave at 8:30, which I don't today, the odds of us staying on past 8:30 are really high.
Yeah. But not that much past it because I have a call. But yeah.
Lame.
Sorry. Hey, Vicky asked this way earlier, but let's loop to this. I think it's a fun question to play with. Speaking of redos, so talking about redoing quarterfinals workouts outside of the open, do you think it's being able to redo workouts is the right thing overall? Example, in live competitions, you don't have the opportunity. So should it even be allowed? I definitely have thoughts. If you
go ahead, you go first. I always go first.
Okay, let me pull it back up. Yeah, I mean, I think that should you be able to redo? Definitely, in my opinion, yes. I mean, because I think that testing and retesting is a part of what we do. It's a part of our methodology. So being able to use that in these settings is awesome. And so, yes, in live competition, it's a one and done test. Who's the most whatever, I think that there's an appropriate time and place for that. But I think that also allowing athletes to be able to have a time horizon to redo in it, it's just, I think it's baked into what we do. We retest Fran every so often. We retest Danny, whatever, all the notables are 1 rep maxes, you name it. Like we test and retest all sorts of stuff. So I like in a competitive setting, the opportunity to test and retest in a short time horizon. So I guess this is, do you think it's appropriate?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I like it.
Yeah. I think we're qualifying for the thing, right? Not everything has to be operated like a live competition. Well, I mean, it's impossible to police it, so it doesn't really matter. It's like the conversation is sort of like, it'd be cool if like we could all move to Mars, and it's like, well, we can't. So why? It's like, you know what I mean? Like, why? It's not really like there's not really any reason to try to snuff out what's right and wrong in this specific thing, because there's no way to police it, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, all of our goals are to go to the CrossFit Games or like go compete live. And so, this is true. Just put them in the red car, send them off. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's fine. I don't have a problem with it in general. But that's why we have in person, like in person is for that time, but the in-person variables are more controlled, right? I mean, maybe less controlled, but like it's what everyone's on the same playing field. And so there it's all standardized in that moment. It's not standardized. Like someone just said, like, what if the dog runs under your rope or, whatever.
Runs off with your rower.
Yeah. Whatever happens, right? The clock turns off. It's like, well, what do we do now? Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, my whole, like someone, like the clock turned off when someone was going while we were competing this week. There was a baby there and Amanda's granddaughter and just ripped the cord out of the wall.
Yeah.
And we had the phone going, so it's fine. But it was funny. The athlete didn't even realize it till like 8 minutes later. The workout was almost over.
Yep. But then she was happy that it happened actually.
Yeah.
Because she went faster. She thought that like if she did better than she thought, she would have slowed down if she had seen the clock.
Now, Now, this statement is worth the value. Like, this is the argument is, okay, better question. Should the workouts be stout enough to prohibit ability to redo? The question should be, should the window be narrow enough to try to limit redos? The answer is yes. We don't need 5 fucking days to do 4 workouts. That's insane. We just don't need that. Like, it can be done in 2 days. And that's how you manage that. In general.
Yeah, and stout enough makes me think that yet again, like I guess for semi or for quarterfinals specifically, yet again, we had such a broad range of athletes that making this test stout for that big of a range of athletics, like it's just not wise, right? Because if it's stout for the top 5%, it's totally irresponsible for the bottom end of that 25%.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's.
But then, of course, if you take that to semis or whatever, it's a different conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Although I guess maybe we should just say games, because honestly, the breadth of field at semifinal level is still going to be pretty significant.
Yes, you mean like in person?
Yeah, and online.
I mean, the online field is significantly lower quality than the games. I mean, going to 400 or 300 or 200 in the 70s, that athlete is very far down from the qualifiers.
That's, I think, what I meant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think
totally misread
maybe
that.
I said that incorrectly, but I think that's what I meant.
Spin. How about 8 days? Yeah, exactly. Right. I mean, I still don't understand. So I do understand why they did it, right? Because they want to put it in class and they want to do all the thing. They want to integrate it into the affiliate, which I think is great. Then just, guys, it doesn't take much to say, hey, if you want to move on to semifinals, here's what you have to do. And if you don't, you can still put something on the leaderboard and it'll be in that same exact spot. And then it just will not be counted towards the thing. And you don't have to do the video. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. He's talking about what we talked about last on Monday. If you implement the changes you guys suggested, like the 20-minute AMRAP and the backwards deadlift rounds, it would have been appropriately stout for all levels. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like going into this, it's like, it seems easy to us, right? And we want to say that it's easy because we can take something and make changes easily to there. But I assume that there's a lot of other factors that they're going through and trying to work through. But it does just seem like it's like 2 people in a room and they're gassing each other up. And they're like, this is great. This is awesome. You're so good. Like
when coming up with these workouts.
Yeah, I'm just like,
okay, hold on. But it's Bosman programming him. Can you see Bosman acting that way for a second? Obviously, he's the one that I guess then whoever's around him is that this is so great, people. But like, what?
I don't know.
I understand we feel as though the test could certainly be.
It just seems like it's just
more
like the
robust.
qualifying process, the judging process, like the whole system. It just seems like it could be very small changes that don't take a lot of thought. You know what I mean? Or complexity that would just shut us up. I mean, we'd find something to complain about. Let's be clear, which is 100%. We'd find something to complain about because that's the job, right? That's the point of this. But yeah. Oh, this is what I want. This is like, so I was talking this morning. So this is Kevin's talking about Iron Games. We test and we make changes based on what. Go ahead.
I think was it today that the announcement for the dates? When is that?
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay. Dates for Iron Games.
Beginning of October. Team workouts. Awesome competition.
Okay, sorry. Continue. It's gonna be great.
Ben is on best hour right now. Is that true?
I have no idea.
What? There's no way.
That's actually really funny if
that
that's
would be
the case.
Fucking hilarious. If he was live right now, one, it's 7:30. There's just a very low chance Ben is awake on a podcast.
Dude,
right
100%.
Now. Oh,
he's live
he is live on a
is.
podcast. That's crazy. I'm gonna. I want everyone to go. Everyone needs to go. Head to Best Hour.
Yep.
And say, I can't believe you guys are on during the WODprep podcast.
Wait, is that what you want him to say, or do you want me to?
Yeah,
What do you want him to
100%.
say?
How could you be live during your own company podcast?
CJ. I wonder if he's going to see these, or if he. I mean, he looks like he's pretty spirited right this minute about whatever he's talking about.
It's fine.
One thing about Ben, he's so fun to watch get fired up about whatever he's fired up about. Oh man.
That's so funny.
Okay, unrelated to that, but just a quick shout out to KK, one of your athletes, Katie, who burst, who is not only like qualified for she went on ahead and did quarterfinals for not the age groups, but what am I looking for the open individual, whatever. And she qualified through that as a deaf athlete, which I think is really cool. It's the first time that's happened.
She's the first deaf athlete. The first deaf athlete.
On.
Huh?
Are you looking at the comments? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
I wonder if these co-hosts are like, what the heck?
Yep.
How could you be on here during the WODprep?
Hold on. I'm going to share it. Hopefully we don't get demonetized. This is so funny.
Okay, so yeah, sorry. I bet this is great too. Like I look forward to going back and watching this, whatever this is.
Individual courses and piecemeal it together. They get access to all of them.
Academy.
Now we've added an extra layer of like, they actually get like weekly video coaching calls with me.
Academy.
Or 7.
Ben can't help but sell it. Guys, both of you. Both you can't help but sell it.
Added a bunch of like.
You should have seen me this week on all of my onboardings.
And each
accidentally
individual has
pitching
like
one-on-one.
2 or 3 skills that they want to develop, and they have like far-reaching skills that they want to develop, but they just don't have time or structure to practice.
How could you
can't
just
necessarily afford like one-on-one coaching on top of what they're already doing. They just want to, they want that like, again, that cherry on top to add to their programming.
Funny. I wonder if they'll bring me
one
on.
example is this lady Liza, who's like, she'd been doing CrossFit for 9 years, but it hadn't really made that much progress from a skill development perspective. She's like, I've been doing CrossFit for 9 years. I've always wanted to do a bar muscle up. I can't do it.
Like, why are my
Academy?
why is my team so childish?
Like 3.
What?
It's gonna be like, why is my team so childish?
Oh, 100%.
Oh man.
Oh, that's so funny.
That is funny. That's good. Simulcast. Send CJ the link.
Anyways.
Doesn't this guy have his own channel going live right now? These are really good. You guys crushed it.
They're hilarious. Yeah, bomb the show. So funny.
Okay, well, that completely derailed, but we don't necessarily. It looks like another coach left Training Think Tank. I haven't really looked into that, but it looks like another one did.
I was talking about this yesterday with Lando. Wow. Who?
It was in the dense updates.
Who knows? Come on, Vicky. I know you know.
Yeah, don't remember. But so that's another one that decided to go out on their own, do their own thing. Oh, another thing. Well, if we get that figured out, Ryan, RYNE. Do you know who that is?
No. Oh.
One who does the podcast with Kyle. Interesting.
Hi, Duke.
You can tell they were reading the comments. Is what Steven said. Oh no.
5 weeks.
We're gonna get in trouble.
So funny.
Jeff Adler went on the Girls Unfiltered podcast.
I watched it last night while I was working.
He was one of the girls. I loved it.
I mean,
since when have you ever seen that much personality out of Jeff?
No, none. Ever.
Literally never. He was so seemingly comfortable and happy to be there. And it was so refreshing. And it was also just kind of interesting because we just get this when he's at competition focus, whatever version. And this was like a completely different version than we've ever seen.
Yeah. I mean, I think everyone. Jesus, Duke. Hi. I know. I see. What do you need?
Did Jeff
I'm
put
not
on a
getting
wig? No.
What?
No. Tristan
Oh,
said,
did you
did
put on
Jeff
a
put on a
wig?
wig? Yeah, yeah. No.
Yeah. I'm not bringing that comment up, but yes. So
I don't mean that in any
I know.
derogatory way. I
I know
thought it
you
was
don't.
it
No,
was
I
so
thought it was funny.
enjoyable.
I mean, I thought it was funny. I thought he did a good job. I love like chipping at the boys. I think that was pretty good.
Yes, yeah, where he was like, I've never been invited on their podcast. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, the Girls Unfiltered podcast from last night. I think it was last night. Yeah, with Jeff Adler. Very worth a watch if you want to, like, I don't know anything more. And he did say too, that while he does plan to, when he does retire, to take some time off, that he does not have plans to retire. So he's still.
Oh yeah, he's not going anywhere. He doesn't have anything. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem like he has a lot of like, what's the word? Like, I want to say like value out of life. That's not the right thing. Like anything outside of like, it seems like this is it. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't seem like they're trying to have a family or like make those next steps or anything like that anytime soon, especially with, Caroline being, like, just like, it just seems like this is it. Like, this is their path indefinitely for sure.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
I agree.
Yeah, I think people at the top having personalities are really important.
It was just refreshing to see.
Yeah, definitely. I wish we could have seen that maybe when he was like at the top. You know what I mean? Like when he was deemed fittest on earth. I think it's nice to be able to relate to people.
What do you think the odds are of him getting on the podium at the games this year?
On the podium, pretty high. Super high on the podium. Winning, moderately high. I mean, like it could, I mean, he's one of the fittest guys on earth, and there's no question about it, right? And he's well-rounded, runs a lot. I think, yeah. Yeah, it's probably this. Like, I think he's going to be on. I mean, I think there's, 6 or 7 guys that can win the CrossFit Games. Probably 5 that can win, 8 or 9 that could be on the podium depending on the workouts.
Who are the 5 that could win?
James, Dallin, Jeff, Ricky,
Jason.
I don't think Jason's going to win again. I wouldn't put it on there, to be honest.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe. No, I mean, I don't know. I guess if I have to choose 5, I don't know. I just feel like Jay and Jason are like, yeah, like they're right there. Of like the odds of winning, but I think the other 4 are, I don't know. It just seems like it's a more attainable.
More attainable for Dallin than it is for Jason?
At this point, yeah. I think it is. Even though Jason's already won, right? Just based on their fitness level. Like it just seems. But I mean, that could be, that could be bias. In general, Jason's already won. So, but I mean, seems like a lot of people are kind of leaning in that direction too of like, hard to say it was a fluke. It's not a fluke. Jason's still one of the fittest on earth, but I don't know. It's just a feel, right? I think regardless of like, if you just assume the programming is like, it has to be James, Jeff, or Ricky. I think like those are like your, I don't know, highest odds. No matter what's programmed. The bias and what we're lacking.
I think Ricky's hunger for it is dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, he's one event away from putting it together, and making it happen. And he's very fit. So I think he can be there for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be good. It's gonna be a fun season. It's always a fun season with with like where the men's field is right now. It's gonna be a great season with the women's field as well, right? No runaways is always fun after having a runaway for so long, you know?
Yep.
It'll be good. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Because I think, you know, for the podium there, you're looking at, of course, Lucy, duh. But then Danielle Brandon, Paige Rogers.
Yep.
Bunch of different names that could potentially land there. Gabby's back. Yeah, it's going to be really fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Mertrain. I don't know. I don't think that Colton is gonna be able to overcome like moving from A to B, like over the other athletes, like any type of like traversing. I just think he's always gonna, no matter how fit he gets, I think it's always gonna be, I don't want to say insurmountable because I think he's obviously can continue to get better, but it's just so hard to say that you're going to be able to run with James in the same like low effort thing, right? So maybe you have a better mile than him, but like him running his whatever, like his 80% versus, you know what I mean? Like it's just like when you can just have that much more efficiency because you're a foot taller, you know, it's like it's tough to overcome that in general.
Yep.
And Colton will never say that's the excuse. He'll just keep grinding away. But I don't know what his ceiling is. You know, I certainly don't think he's hit it. I would love to see him overcome and prove all of us wrong. Like, don't get me wrong, but physiology is just like a part of it, right? That's why there's no 400 pounders in the CrossFit games. Like there's just, you're going to have bias. That's why there's a bias. That's why wide receivers look the way they look. That's why linemen look the way they look. Running backs, every running back looks exactly the same. I don't know. I mean, are you saying like what's the ceiling, like placing? Is that the question? Is that what you like? How high do I think he can place the CrossFit Games?
I think that's the question.
I mean, I think we'll see Colton on the podium at some point. But I don't know if it's ever going to be consistent. I think it's always going to be like he'll just, I don't want to say get lucky, but the programming will benefit him to allow the home runs to be more prevalent and allow the lower place finishes to be less prevalent within whatever that battery of tests are. Derrick Henry and Kyrie, yeah, but they're different styles of running backs too, you know. I mean, Derrick Henry, I mean, it is fair, right? Derrick Henry doesn't look like any other running back. But
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I love this. We'll finish on this one for sure. God, that would be amazing.
Yeah, that's
all right. I think the family's up and getting ready.
Can you finish on one more little tiny clip?
Mm-hmm.
Will you pull up the Greg Glassman video and take it to the 17-minute, 28-second mark? I sent it to you via text.
The town hall?
Yes. Okay. 17:28. Thank you. We'll add it to state. Oh.
And this is the last piece, number 7. I want to talk about addiction.
You hear it?
Because it's not lost on me. Let me tell you how I arrived at this kind of understanding. I'm sitting there one day and I'm thinking, okay, I get it. You're sitting on the couch and you're eating jelly donuts and you're watching Friends until you get diabetes and you're an unfortunate victim of disease. But if I sit on the couch and I shoot heroin and watch a different channel, I'm some kind of degenerate. And I was like, how's that different again? They're willful behaviors. They're chronic, recurring, willful behaviors that contribute to your final demise. So I was like, I'm not getting the difference again. I gotta look this up. So I put chronic disease and addiction into Google, and the first thing that came back was from the National Institute of Health. Oh,
they said can't hear him. Oh. Oh no. Oh. I hope that that's not the case because it's so good.
It is really low. I have it up.
Oh yeah, and it is, the video itself just plays low.
Okay.
Okay, KDL says he hears it just fine.
Okay.
These are willful, destructive habits. I'm not saying if you sit on the couch and eat a donut, you're going to die. I'm saying if you do it every single day, you spend 6 hours a day doing it, you're going to die. You're going to have a short and brutish life. I turned then and looked at these two things, sedentarism and carbohydrate, excess carbohydrate. What is the addictive nature of that? I mentioned it earlier. My Nicole Carroll says she's afraid of missing a workout because she's afraid she'll miss a second one. She's afraid she'll miss a third. She's afraid she won't work out for a month or maybe never again. I put sedentarism into Google and with the word addiction, what I get, pay dirt. There have been many scholars that have suggested that sedentarism is a recurring, self-reinforcing, destructive, unhealthy behavior.
Anyway, you can just pause it, but I just think that the self-inflicted nature and saying, you know, just calling out that addiction piece of it and saying like, what is the difference? Anyway, that whole video I think is really awesome to just reflect back on and see that the founder of this thing that we do, like just remember why what he was all about, and that we do still possess like the most powerful, potent solution to these problems.
Mm-hmm.
And that even though we are here because we're accessing it, most of us that are watching the show, we're part of the show, obviously we're CrossFitters, you know, the people that we love maybe are not. And it's a good slap of reality in the face to call it what it is, and to try to continue to support them, to meet them where they are, and to bring them in somehow to progress for their own health. So anyway, I don't know. I just
100%.
enjoy listening.
No, I get it. I'm on board with that.
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, but that's it. Okay. I know that was like a low, but also it was like a.
No, it's good. It's a solid
it.
finish. Cool. Monday. Yes. Have a good weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. We're heading to the beach like right now.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I know. They're
Have
off
fun.
school. Good Friday. So, all right, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you for being here. We had a good show today. Make sure to head over to the Best Hour channel to finish watching Ben talk about what he's really passionate about, which is helping people get better at the sport of CrossFit.
Nobody better at it.
And so go over there, like that page, you know, subscribe to Best Hour. They do, you know, they are the best in the space. They put out a lot of good stuff. So, yep. Sunscreen the face, and then we'll sun shirt over always. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good one. And we'll see you next time.